Breaking down the deals, data, and disruption shaping global markets. You're listening to The Daily Ledger with Dennis Sert.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Wednesday, December 10th, 2025. You're listening to The Daily Ledger Show, and I am your host, Dennis Sert. Great to be here with you today. So let's go ahead and jump in to what we got here today. The Dow Jones is down 0.38%. The NASDAQ is up 0.13%. The S&P 500 is down 0.09%. And Bitcoin is at 91,879 today. So what are the big headlines? First off, the Fed is meeting kind of as we speak. And they're widely expected to cut the rate by another 0.25%. So we have that. I'd be very surprised if they kept it steady rather than cut. The labor market still isn't doing very well. What's funny is, like, the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times are saying, oh, wow, it's a divided Fed. And it's like the FOMC notes from the last meeting were not divided. 11 of the 12 voting members wanted a cut. One of them wanted more cutting. And then there's 1 out of 12 who was against it. But I already talked about that a few weeks ago, so I won't rehash it. But yeah, it's very, very divided. Very divided. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I wanted to talk about how startups are moving into the rare earth space now. So we saw this article last week. I didn't bring it up on air, but I read about it, and apparently there's this sort of Don Jr. backed rare earth startup called, I think it's called like Vulcan Elements, and they did a deal with the Pentagon for 940 million again last week, and what they're doing is they're essentially mining rare earths, supplying magnets, right? And then this morning I saw this article from the Wall Street Journal. Silicon Valley is racing to make critical minerals and blunt China's dominance. And so I guess they have this like random guy. It's so funny because you know, let's just pretend I got backed by some startup accelerator like tomorrow. It's like, oh wow, look how serious he is. Oh yeah, super serious, right? Here's a CEO. Anyways, I just thought it was kind of funny. It's like, shouldn't you be in your office like providing value to your customers? But no, hold on. I have my Wall Street Journal photo shoot. Do I look serious enough? Right. Anyways, so there's this CEO here, and apparently he's doing I guess he's in some like storage shed for calcium bearing silicate rock. Um yeah, so he's one of these like new players in the critical mineral space. Yeah, so it's pretty clear that this is where the startup space is going. If I had any expertise in like rare earths or just like mechanical engineering or just like working with like mines and stuff, I might have like done my next startup in that. Seems like there's a lot of money in that. But yeah, so again, the push is because the US doesn't have a lot of leverage against China in terms of rare earths, just in terms of both procuring and also refining. So that's what these guys are kind of stepping up to the plate to do. Okay, I want to talk about this new story. Instagram's new Your Algorithm tool gives you more control over the reels you see. So apparently, Instagram is releasing this new sort of customizer for your algorithm for YouTube Shorts. And apparently it's coming out today. The new Instagram tool is available starting Wednesday in the US and will roll out globally in English soon. Um, and so I was looking at the screenshot here, and it's very similar. So you can see, I guess you click on like some edit button in the top right. It's like a filter button, and then it kind of tells you like lately you've been into creativity, sports hype, fitness, motivation, and skateboarding. And it says, what do you want to see more of? I guess you can like choose certain tags. Um, yeah, and like they call it AI, but it's really just a whole bunch of like it's basically the same recommendation algorithm that has been used since like 2015, like on YouTube and stuff. Just kind of ramped up to 11, but calling it AI, I guess, is cool. Um, but yeah, so I guess that's what's going on. This is following a trend as well with X, right? So here's Elon Musk saying about a month ago on November 12th, he said, by next month, Grok will literally look at and understand all 100 million X posts per day, including images and video, no matter how small the account, and recommend content to users based on intrinsic quality of the content itself. This is only possible with advanced AI using a lot of GPUs and will massively improve the quality of everyone's feed. Yeah. So, and you know what? It's been Elon's and X's policy in general to try and boost smaller slash new accounts with smaller followings and essentially render following and follower accounts irrelevant. And basically, they're deploying Grok, X's AI to look at all of the posts that anyone puts out and then tries to match each if there's intrinsic quality there, tries to match that to someone who'd be interested in that, and it's doing that across like on the order of like 500 million. Well, I guess there are 400 million like active users. I was just listening to a clip on a podcast. He was talking about it. But there are 100 million X posts per day that you have to match to these people. So yeah, it's pretty wild. Um, yeah. So they're using AI to help better see, um, what you'd be interested in and kind of present that to you, right? So both Instagram and X. I guess Instagram kind of beat them to the punch, huh? Um, all right. Let's move on to the last story I want to talk about here this morning. Hinge CEO steps down to launch Overtone, an AI dating app. Um, so here's the thing. Swiping, I'm sort of wondering if it's becoming passe. So you look at some of these studies, I think Forbes has a study out there, 79% of Gen Z feel, quote, dating app burnout. And just, having to swipe seems kind of, well, it seems a little bit dumb in 2025. In 2013 or whatever, yeah, I mean, that's cool, I guess. Novel. In 2025, kind of following what we were talking about in terms of like the theme of AI sort of giving you exactly what you want with very little effort. Swiping comparatively kind of is a lot of effort, right? Because you have to kind of, swipe, and if you think about if you like the person, oh, read their bio, look at their photos or whatever. It's like, okay, well, I'm gonna say, oh crap, I forgot to, I accidentally swipe left. I want to swipe right. Like, who wants to deal with that in 2025? And I think that's what, first of all, that's what we see with the statistics. It's not just me coming up with like a scenario. That's what the statistics show. People are sort of getting, specifically Gen Z is being disillusioned, um, as well as what some of these um, executives at Match Group, which sort of owns almost everybody, are thinking, right? So Tinder, Hinge, etc. Plenty of fish. So Hinge CEO Justin McLeod is stepping down from his role to launch a new AI dating product called Overtone. And apparently it has to do with like voice. So I guess it's not exactly clear what it is. I think the most it went into detail was it's an early stage dating service focused on using AI and voice tools to help people connect in a more thoughtful and personal way. So I guess like, I'd sort of imagine that you're going to be, as a user, like kind of, I guess, speaking your interests or something. And then the AI is going to match it to people who are interested in those same things, and probably like remove swiping altogether. Um, yeah. So there's that. Of course, there are also other reasons why I think that Gen Z is being disillusioned and, sort of spending less time on dating apps, swiping less. I don't think it's super appropriate to go into that today or on this podcast. I really want this to be kind of focused on AI, cutting edge technology, finance. But in terms of why Gen Z is being disillusioned, I mean, there are a lot of reasons. I'll keep that off air, but yeah, yeah. So that's what I wanted to say. Is swiping passe? It's been passe for a while. Let's see what Overtone does, and even what it is really. And so again, it sort of in this article kind of talked about what we were talking about earlier this week about Hinge's new AI feature, Convo Starters. So I guess continuing that thread. Okay. I want to shift gears into the sponsor of the show, which of course is Byte AI. Byte AI is a direct-to-consumer iOS app. It's basically a financial co-pilot, tells you when to enter and exit the stock market. Um, it does it basically analyzes the RSI curve, Bollinger Bands, MACD/signal curve, or AKA the technical indicators. Economists use this to trade professionally, as well as news sentiment, and then comes up with a succinct sort of recommendation or analysis, really, that's neutral, as we see here, or underbought or overbought, depending on that stock at that time. And it changes from hour to hour because it's really a day trading tool. All these things change, all the numbers change, like the RSI curve stuff changes every hour. So, of course, neither Byte AI nor I are financial advisors. So, just remember that past success does not guarantee future results. That being said, all of these are neutral, and I usually like to talk about the non-neutral ones. Oh yeah, I had to refresh that one. Whoops. Um, mm, 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 mm. Okay, yeah, there must be something going on. I actually pushed out an update yesterday, and I think that's what's causing this. So I'm gonna go fix that, and then this should be up and running by the time tomorrow rolls around. Okay, let's go ahead and leave it there. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I hope you guys make a lot of money out there. And I will see you tomorrow. Peace.